fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I'd like to talk to you tonight about something I'm very excited about, and that's love. I found it interesting that Charlie brought it up. It must be a theme of spring, you know. And there's a Beatles song, and I can't sing, so you all have to help me a little bit, but it goes, all I need is love.
Yeah.
All I need is love. Love is all I need. Well, as a relationship coach, I have to tell you, love is great, it's fabulous, the songs are wonderful, but if you want to be in a long, committed relationship, it's not all you need. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but right now, let's talk about love. Dr. Helen Fisher did research, and she came up with 3 stages of love. And this is all about our hormones and the chemistry of love. The first stage of love is actually lust. We know what that is. That's when the testosterone and the estrogen gets raising in our bodies, and all we think about is sex. You know, we've all been there. The second one is attraction. Now, attraction is a very interesting phase because this is when we're really love-struck. That person that we fall in love with can't do anything wrong. For guys, if your best buddy says, hey, you know, this girl's not right for you, you're liable to punch him in the nose because that's how important it is to you. And for women, if your best friend says, this guy's not in alignment with your goals, your values, and dreams, I know this, you might find another best friend. Because you're stuck. You're in the attraction phase, and these are the hormones that hold you captive at that point. You know, it's the adrenaline that rushes, and sweaty palms, it's our heart racing. That's what keeps our appetite low, and we don't need to sleep as much. Dopamine is very interesting. The dopamine increases, and what we discovered is dopamine has the same effect on the brain as cocaine. Very powerful. Then there's serotonin, and serotonin actually decreases. And this is probably the most important hormone when it comes to love. There's a psychiatrist in Italy who did a study, and he discovered that when people are in the attraction stage of love, their serotonin levels are very, very low. They're at the exact same level as people with obsessive-compulsive disorder. And that's very interesting because no wonder when you're in this stage, you can't stop thinking about that new love. You want to call them all the time. You just want to be with them all the time. So after the attraction stage, you actually go into the attachment stage. And this is where oxytocin is actually called the cuddle hormone, and vasopressin are released. And that's really great because that's how you bond as a couple. You really need that for the emotional trust. And that's what people are able to stay together long enough to have children because of those hormones. But if you look at this, and you think about wanting to have a life partner of your dreams, do you see anything that's missing? Just shout out if you notice anything. Is there anything, if you're looking for your life partner, is there anything missing that you would like to add to the mix?
Responsibility.
Money, does he drink wine?
Okay, Albert.
Responsibility.
Responsibility, okay.
Yeah. Dependability and the ability to empathize with you and see how you feel.
Okay, empathy. You guys are getting on the right path.
Commitment.
Commitment. Commitment, yeah. All right, so what is missing, actually, is the logic part of falling in love. Logic plus love equals lasting relationship. And why is it so important to have lasting relationships? In the U.S., 90% of people will someday be married for at least part of their life. Over 50% of first marriages end in divorce. What they've left out is the logic. They get married, most people that get married are in love. They're madly in love. But they haven't thought about values, needs, wants, requirements. Is this person in alignment with where I'm going? And that's the thing that I work with in the Conscious Dating Program. I'm committed as a relationship coach to help turn these statistics around. Who knows where we could go? We could have 60, 70, 80% of first marriages staying married. Imagine what that would do to the dynamics of a family. Imagine what that would do to the children, what that would do to the world. So if we bring logic into the love, logic plus love equals lasting relationship.
Okay. That's great. Thank you very much. So as you can see, there's a little more to speaking than just standing there and saying things. You need some thoughtful preparation, some work. As you can see, Judy has taken the approach of setting up slides, working with them, practicing with all those things. Toastmasters will help you with doing all of those things. It's amazing how much work you can actually have to get done. And as